Day 9. I think I think it was around about an hour's meditation today. Maybe less. Probably, honestly, probably about 45 minutes total. Uh, Difficult, but probably important realizations. Um, suppose if I put a caveat around this, I mean, this is all kind of personal stuff, I suppose, but I think it's also universal for other people. Um, for the first 6, 7 years of our lives, we're very open. We don't have a great deal of capacity, especially at the earliest part of those years, for rejecting societal, parental, familial belief systems from being implanted into our subconscious mind, making the foundation of who we are. Okay, I think people who are into this kind of thing know that. And I think it's one thing to really know to know it in an intellectual level, and another thing to do this meditation practice and to drop into the emotion, which for me is kind of a burning feeling in my guts, and maybe in my throat as well, like a fear reaction. I'm recognizing a lot of what's coming up as fear-based stuff. And again, to put this into another context, I don't want to personalize this. I don't want this to be about blaming anyone. I think this is just how it works. So we all have parents, whether we live with them, whether we know who they are, or whether they raise us or not, or, whatever combination, however that works for us. We all have caregivers, let's say. And there was a realization for me today that I was born into their belief structure. They passed on a mix of their beliefs, mixed with other familial beliefs, mixed with the beliefs of the society and the time that I grew up in. We have a class system in the UK, so the class I was born into, and the word that was just kind of flashing in my mind was obey. Obey. I realized that my parents had their upbringing, same thing had happened to them, same thing with my grandparents. That line of the family, it's all come from this obey kind of mantra where we seek approval. We do the right thing according to what we're told is the right thing. And people are in authority over us, around us, above us, and we obey that authority regardless of the legitimacy of it, regardless of whether those people who've taken on that authority figure have the qualities of it. It's not a meritocracy, it's not a natural hierarchy, it's an enforced hierarchy. And so in the meditations, that has been very, very powerfully present for me, and quite upsetting. I'm glad I'm going through this. It's not like pixie dust and fairies and clouds and unicorns and skipping through tulips or whatever. It's not that. That's actually a very powerful clearing. There are some visualizations, like I don't know if you've ever seen actual pictures of neural networks. It looks a lot like, they look a lot like trees, with the roots and the branches entangling, all connecting. And so I had a visualization of the roots making different connections and the branches making different connections, and a very white light pulsating through those connections, which could be the energy, electrochemical energy, electromagnetism. A lot of this feels like it's deep in my guts, so there's some clearing going. I'll make sure I do an hour tomorrow. I think something about partners as well, because I think partners and parents and family, they're all closely interrelated in that forest. If you think about those forested connections of leaves and roots, we're all connected in that way. And so that parent partner stuff, that links in together, so our partners can really help us in this, actually, by just being themselves. And if we take responsibility for our reactions to our partners and allow those feelings to come up and use that, just using this thing. I love that I feel so wretched right now. I love that I feel so disempowered. I love that I feel I feel grateful for this process. I love that I'm accessing maybe things that were intellectual before. I'm getting them on a gut level. It's a gut level, which I'm hoping will move to an opening of my heart as I kind of clear what's going on in my guts. That's kind of where I'm at with this right now. Some beautiful things. Felt very connected to some of my students, some of my classes today, like a very strong community feel. They were doing some great stuff, but also I felt overstretched today as well. So I felt quite low, especially when I was coming back stuck in traffic. I wasn't able to do the process. I wasn't able to love being this feeling of just being stuck, because I just had probably just needed some, because all this is churning away inside of us. All right, so not a walk in the park, but definitely something that I'm really, again, just, I think it's very, I'm glad I'm doing it. All right, so that's it, and day 9, day 10 tomorrow.